Today's destination begins in a town called Ocheyedan. Ocheyedan, Iowa, home of the mound. What's going on, everyone? This is Erik with the Get Me Out of Here vlog. And today I'm doing another High Point venture, this time in the Hawkeye state, the great state of Iowa, doing the highest point, geographical point in the state of Iowa, Hawkeye Point to be exact. But first, I want to dig in history a little bit. I want to take you back to what was the original High Point. In the town, well, near the town of Ocheyedan, there is a mound called Ocheyedan Mound, formed from the glaciers tens of thousands of years ago. But you can hike to the top of that. So follow me as we journey from Ocheyedan Mound to the new, a lot of traffic on this highway here, 4th of July weekend. Believe it or not, these back highways in Iowa do get some traffic. But follow me as we go from the top of Ocheyedan Mound, which was the previous high point here in the state of Iowa, to the current one, Hawkeye Point. It'll be fun, and I brought a beer with me too, to enjoy at the top. Let's do this. There's a nice little park here near the Welcome to Ocheyedan sign where you can relax, you can have a picnic, and you can watch the traffic go by. One unique fact is that apparently Reader's Digest once said that Ocheyedan is the hardest to pronounce town name in the entire state of Iowa. Ocheyedan, that's how you say it. Ocheyedan, now you know. Also, just walking around the streets of Ocheyedan, a town of 450 people, had to document this awesome Wonder Bread sign. Look at that. A little nostalgia. Well, here I am, Ocheyedan Mound, the second highest geographical point of the great state of Iowa, standing tall at 1,655 feet. It's a nice little hike to the top. They've got a parking lot, small gravel parking lot right off a paved highway, so very easy to get to, just a mile south of the town of Ocheyedan. And here we are. Apparently this is also a public hunting area, so please don't shoot me. A very easy trek, as you can see, so let's get to the top of Ocheyedan Mound. Take in the beauty of the northwestern Iowa prairie landscape. Well, you look at this, they actually put some money and work, invested it into the mound. There is a small bench you can sit on and take in the view. And they even have an updated informational sign here about the mound. Look at that, there used to be a sheep farm, it looks like, surrounding the mound. The Ocheyedan Mound is the remnants of the last ice age, when glacial ice sheets covered almost all of the upper Midwestern United States. The Ocheyedan Mound is a landform called a came. Never heard of that term before. A came is a cone-shaped knob composed mostly of sand and gravel that was deposited by a stream flowing on the glacier's surface as it melted. The stream dropped large amounts of debris into a cavity in the ice, gradually filling it. As the surrounding ice melted, the mountain of sand and gravel remained. And actually, here's a picture of a came in Alaska, in one of the mountain ranges. And there's a little bit of history as well, if I don't get too much sun glare. There we go. William W.D. Shuttleworth and his wife, Blanche Sokol, purchased the 160-acre mound farm in 1909. At that time, sand and gravel had already been removed from the summit. W.D. resisted numerous efforts to further extract glacial deposits of the mound for commercial purposes. And it looks like it was dedicated as a state preserve on October 10th, 1984. I also just realized the bench here is in honor of W.D. and Blanche Shuttleworth's vision to preserve Ocheyedan Mound for future generations. 2019. So throughout the early and mid 20th century, Ocheyedan Mound was recognized as the highest geographical point here in the state of Iowa. It wasn't until 1971 when the U.S. Geodetic Survey actually found a spot that was higher just north of the town of Sibley, Iowa, which is not too far away from here. And that is now called Hawkeye Point. That point there is 1,670 feet above sea level. Unfortunately, Ocheyedan Mound is now only 1,655 feet. So a 15-foot difference that the surveyors found and knocked Ocheyedan Mound to number 2. So it is now Hawkeye Point, which I will show you in a little bit, that is now declared as the highest point of the state of Iowa. For now, though, we came here, so let's get to the top of the mound. Let's see the views from the top of Ocheyedan Mound, and let's conquer this thing as well. All around me is natural prairie grass, other vegetation, plants, flowers that are native to this region. So much of Iowa has been cultivated for farmland that it's hard to imagine the vast ocean of prairie that extended throughout the Midwestern United States. Well, so far, not too bad of a hike. Maybe 300 yards from the parking lot to the top of this. I think my biggest fear would be ticks. I hate ticks. Definitely want to check your legs after you get back to the parking lot. The path is pretty narrow, a lot of tall grass. But yeah, that's a small worry, unless it's a deer tick. Thank God I have not come across that yet in my life and throughout my travels. Nice steep grade here. The slope inclines quite a bit towards the top. Oh, cool. And there's some rocks in what looks to be a cross maybe, or like a T formation. Looks like somebody placed them like that just on this side of the hill. Hopefully it's not an Indian burial ground. Yeah, the rocks have been painted white. I did read that they do religious services, particularly around Easter, on this mound. So maybe that's left over from an Easter service earlier this year. All right, I think we're at the top. As we reach the crest. Wow. Yeah, it's a bit of a field here on the top. There's another trail that goes to the edge. All right, success. Made it to the top of Ocheyedan Mound. Look at this view of the Iowa heartland. There's the town of Ocheyedan right there. You can see the big grain mill right over there. The skyscrapers of the Midwest. Well, the skyscrapers of the heartland, I should say. Gorgeous day out. It's hot. It's 90 degrees. Humidity's not too bad, but it is hot, so I am feeling it. But hey, not too windy today either, so a great day for a hike. Whew, you know what? I just realized I think the point is a little bit higher right there. That point of Ocheyedan Mound, there's a trail. Let's go up there. I have to make this official. So let's do that. I gotta say, it's gotta be gorgeous out here at night. The night sky with the stars, not a metropolis, a city anywhere around me. The stars, this would be a great spot to stargaze. For anyone that's interested in that, come to Ocheyedan Mound. All right. All right, well, this is official. This is the highest point of Ocheyedan Mound. I would say it's probably 100 yards from one point of the top to the other. Could run some sprints. But yeah, look at this. What a classic Midwestern landscape. You've got your corn growing. You got the wind turbines, red barns, silos, tractors out, sowing the fields. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Well, now that I've taken this in, I do have an ice cold beer from a local Iowa brewery that I want to enjoy today, but I can't enjoy it here at the second high point. Sorry, Ocheyedan Mound, it's got to be done at the highest geographical point. And that is where we are headed next. Let's go. Made it to the top of Ocheyedan Mound, Iowa's second highest geographical land point. Whew! This Iowa sun, the humidity during the summertime has got me definitely wanting to quench my thirst. All right, this kind of reminds me a little bit of Tornado Hill in Grand Island, Nebraska. I did a vlog on that last year. Check it out. Except for this isn't made from tornado debris. This is a mound that was made from glacial deposits, receding glaciers, which is probably a better way to make a mound, ideally. All right, well, there you have it. See you later. Ocheyedan Mound, on to Hawkeye Point. It's just a short drive away. Well, I've made it to Hawkeye Point. Well, check it out. Here we are. Hawkeye Point, the highest geological point of the state of Iowa, 1,670 feet, and it's just right over here as the arrow points. And you can also see they've got a big ear of corn, the goldfinch, Iowa's state bird, and also the prairie rose, Iowa's state flower. All right, well, what are we waiting for? Let's go see this. Right across the street is a campground. So you can actually camp out and sleep under the stars here at the Iowa High Point. Well, I've got to admit, of all the high points I've visited so far, well, of the three, Indiana, Illinois, and now Iowa, Iowa's is by far the easiest to get to and probably the least amount of hiking involved. Literally, there's a main highway right here that runs north to south, and you just pull off on an exit from that highway and literally pull right up this gravel drive and you're here. It's that simple. Well, here it is, the Iowa High Point, and look how awesome this is. This has got to be the best kept high point I've seen to date. They say that you need to get a picture on it of your feet. So here we go. Hawkeye Point. Oh, I got to spin in circles. Hawkeye Point. There we go. There's the foot shot. And looking straight ahead, they have a bunch of other signs pointing to other high points. Oh, this is so cool. Magazine Mountain in Arkansas is 583 miles away, elevation 2,753 feet. Oh, this is amazing. So they have every other high point in the United States right here, pointing how far they are away from Hawkeye Point. There's Charles Mound. That's the last one I did, Illinois. 285 miles away. So Hawkeye Point is, wow, just over what, 400 feet higher than Illinois. You can see it's located here in the northwest corner of the state. So cool. By far the best state marker I've seen for the high points. And here is a stone also commemorating the Hawkeye Point, elevation 1670 at the Sterler Farm. That's what this land was. They also have a sign here. Iowa looks awesome with you. It's a selfie spot, so you can put your camera or your phone, show off your selfie skills, set your phone on this ledge. I've seen this in some other places, so why not give it a try? Gotta love the mosaic. Truly a unique feature of the Iowa High Point. Have not seen that on any other high point so far in the United States. So credits to Iowa. Most beautiful high point marker. Go Hawkeyes. Grant Wood, American Gothic. One of the most famous artists come out of the United States from eastern Iowa, the Cedar Rapids area originally. That's where Grant Wood is from. You can see this painting at the Chicago Art Institute. It's well worth seeing. Here they've got some information of other interesting places to check out in Osceola County. That is the county that I'm standing in right now, that Hawkeye Point is located at. Oh my gosh, look at that. They even have a two-headed calf at the McCallum Museum. Here's a map of the state of Iowa. And here's where I'm at right now. The Iowa High Point. Not too far away from the Iowa Great Lakes. That's the region I grew up in. And here is the registration box. So let's, without further ado, sign it away. I'll put my signature down for Hawkeye Point. The pen was bad. Always bring your own. That's a tip I've learned. All right. And on the back side of the kiosk, they've got license plates of all the 50 states. And it looks like they're the older, yeah, that's definitely like the older Illinois license plate, the older Iowa one as well. Gotta love that the Iowa one says High Point on it. But very cool. Yeah, they've got nostalgic license plates of all 50 states on the back side of that kiosk. They also have a small section of tall grass prairie right here along the High Point. This is all prairie grasses native to the state of Iowa. A lot of it has, like I said earlier, been cultivated for farmland, soybeans and corn. So it is harder to find this. Very cool to see that here. Welcome to Hawkeye Point, Veterans of Osceola County. A rock sponsored by military veterans. Welcome to Hawkeye Point. And I'm not sure what's in this big red barn. It looks like an exhibit of some type, so let's check it out and see what's inside. Here's a Hawkeye Point wall of recognition. Businesses, families that helped donate to the tourist attraction here. Also the High Pointers Club. Representatives from other High Point states. The history of Hawkeye Point. In February of 2008, the Merrill Sterler family graciously donated 1.6 acres of land that includes Iowa's highest points to the citizens of Osceola County. Their hope was to keep the High Point open to the public. At the request of members of the Sibley Ocheyedan FFA chapter, the Osceola Board of Supervisors voted to secure a loan to purchase the additional 5.4 acres of the farm building site with the goal of developing the area as an Iowa Welcome Center and Agricultural Interpretive Center. Interesting. So it wasn't until 2008 that they really cleaned this up and helped make it the tourist attraction that you see today. The Hawkeye Point Walkthrough Museum. That's what is inside this red barn. And up above is this really cool decorative, almost like a quilt pattern. I don't know the story or history behind these pieces of artwork, but you will see these all over the state of Iowa on various barns and different farms. And you'll have to do some research on that. I think there's a museum somewhere in Iowa that displays and explains the history of these designs. All right, well, 4-H Club, a popular farm club here in the Midwest. So here we have a restored corn crib at Hawkeye Point. A corn crib such as this was used on the farm to store small grains in the overhead bins and ear corn each side. The ear corn was hauled from the fields in the fall and allowed to dry with air flowing through the slates and the siding. When dry, the ear corn was shelled and generally used for animal feed. Whoa, and watch your step. A lot of bird poop on the main walkway. Ooh. And will you look at that, Ed Bailey's tar paper shack. Local farmer here in Osceola County. You know, it's always been a family joke, but my grandma was actually born in a tar paper shack. No joke, really was, in northern Minnesota back in 1931. So it's an old barn and corn crib. Old boat motors, apparently. And just kind of various old farm equipment. Oshkosh Bagosh, I think that's in Wisconsin. Not sure what that's doing on display here. Oh, here we go, the hand-painted barn quilt. So this is donated by the Sibley Ocheyedan FFA chapter. History of barn decorations dates back to the mid-1800s. Painting symbols on barns originated from simple folk art passed along from German and Swiss immigrants who settled the Pennsylvania Dutch region in southeastern Pennsylvania. Once these individuals built their farms and communities, they would paint small patterns on their barns to celebrate their heritage and bring good fortune. And like I said, I think there is a hand-painted barn quilt museum somewhere else in Iowa. I have to look that up and check that out one of these days. They also have a Hawkeye Point antique farm machinery display. Look at this. Stepping back in time, old farm equipment on display. Here's the John Deere walk-behind plow. The plow that conquered the prairie. A John Deere 122 two-bottoms plow. A McCormick Deering horse-drawn cycle mower. I really don't know what most of these were used for. Luckily, they've got some informational boards. If you're interested, you can come here and read up more on the history and what these were used for. This equipment may not look like much right now, but this is the machinery that conquered the Midwestern prairie. Engineering. That's what fed the world. All right, well, like I've started doing with all these other high points, I brought a local beer with me to enjoy on the actual high point. So today, let's crack this open. For the state of Iowa, I have brought a West O, is an award-winning brewery in Okoboji, Iowa. And this particular type of beer is Infinite Black. It's an India Pale Ale, or an IPA. So let's crack this baby open without further ado. We've conquered the high point of Iowa. It's time to enjoy and quench my thirst, because it is a hot one today. 95 degrees out. Whew, all right. This has been shaken up, so this will be interesting. Ooh, not too bad. Ooh, not too bad, so here we are. Cheers to the Hawkeye State and my home state. Oh, that is good. Not a lot of hiking involved today other than this short hike up Ocheyedan Mound. But when it's this hot out, it still feels great to crack a cold one. Cheers, everyone. All right. You know, they have an observation deck here too, so let's go enjoy this up there. Well, I just walked up the steps to this giant silo here on the site of the high point, and you have a great view of the surrounding farm fields, the countryside, and this is all soybeans as far as the eye can see. This is not corn surrounding the high point this summer. It is all soybeans. So take it in, that magical view, rows and rows of soybeans. Kind of hard to tell that you're really that high up, but if the surveyors marked it that way, then it must be so. These silos are definitely a symbol of the Midwest, no doubt. And the Osceola local water tower, also right there in view. A lot of bird poop up here. Gotta be careful I don't rock this deck too much. I don't want the camera to fall. Is this heaven? It's Iowa. This is a gentleman I just met here at the High Point today. He is a fellow YouTuber and he does 22 squats on every high point. And Bob, why do you do these squats?
Well, in July, Mission 22 is raising money to help veterans with PTSD, because 22 veterans on average a day commit suicide. And so they're raising money for their treatments, and it's just been one of those kind of physical goals that they've been putting out there. Sometimes they do push-ups, this time it's squats.
And you do squats on the high points?
Well, today I am.
We'll start with this one. That's great.
Yeah.
And Bob, what's your YouTube channel?
DeBob Zen Scale Man Cave.
How do you spell that?
Well, DABOBS NSCALEMANCAVE. So it's, you can look for DeBob's Man Cave. You'll get that up there as well.
And that's primarily train videos?
Model railroading, yeah.
Model railroading. It's very cool. Well, thank you, Bob. That's a great cause.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, there you have it. That is Hawkeye Point, the highest geological point in the great state of Iowa. It was fun doing this today. It's a great tourist attraction that they have here in the northwest corner of Iowa. And it was also great walking and hiking to the top of Ocheyedan Mound, the second highest point here in the state of Iowa. Well, I've got a lot more to do today. Got to hit the road. It's time for me to get out of here. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, Casey's Pizza. Best gas station pizza on earth.